Hey, what's up guys? Little man with a big opinion here. And in today's video, I have 9 items in front of me, but I'm going to talk about 10 because one of the items I don't know where I put it. I think I left out my car and I didn't want to walk all the way out there to make this video. So we'll just talk about it. But I'm going to talk about 10 items that you can pick up from Walmart that are relatively cheap. And what I mean by relatively cheap is I think the one item that I don't have is the most expensive, and it was $23 or $24. So I don't know if I'm going to talk about, or I don't know if I'm going to title it 10 relatively cheap items or 10 items under $20. But enough chit-chatting. Let's get into it. I normally put this at the end, but I'll put it at the beginning. If you like the video, you like the information I'm giving you, then like it. If you have a friend or family member that would benefit from the information I'm talking about in this, then share the video with them. And lastly, if you like what I'm doing, then subscribe because I make videos all the time. Alright, so the caveat with only one of these items, not the one that I don't have, is you need to, rotate it and use it. But all of these items have a purpose. I wouldn't say they're all in the, top 10 or first things that you should buy, but they are items that as a prepper, after you've put away the essentials of food and water, then these are extra items to start stocking up more on. So the one caveat item that I have on here is going to be your vitamins and minerals. I just went and grabbed the vitamin C. And of course, so this says it expires September of 2024. So this will definitely be gone by that point. But having your vitamins and minerals as a prepper is very important because if you can't get to a doctor, if you have to do things on your own, vitamin C, for instance, you basically take it every time you feel like you're getting sick. You might have a cold or the snuffles, and it definitely helps out a lot. Some people can't get enough iron. Some people want, their vitamin Bs for more energy, and it is more cost efficient than coffee, energy drinks, and any other source. So your vitamins are important. That's the number one thing on this list. The number 2 thing on this list is going to be mason jars. You can get the pint size in packs of 16, and you can get the quart sizes in packs of 12, and then you can get the half gallon in packs of 6, I believe. So they're mostly useful for food storage. We use them as cups as well around here. But having extra jars, extra lids is very important because when you get to the point in prepping where you're putting away more food than you're eating, you're able to, sustain yourself off of your land, your garden, your herd, whatever, then having the ability to store that food for long-term storage is important. And I'm pretty sure they don't sell Mylar bags at Walmart. I know they sell the Food Saver stuff, but those bags are porous and they don't get the same effect of Mylar bags or mason jars do. Number 3 on this list is going to be toilet paper. I specifically am showing you this toilet paper because it's 2-ply, it's really, really small rolls, and they're 68 cents per pack. This is definitely one of those items that every time you went to Walmart, it would strongly benefit you to just kind of grab 1 or 2 of these, and you'd be surprised at how quickly it builds up. And like my fiance says, she's not going to use that stuff until she's out of all of the other stuff, which we never run out of that stuff because when we do, she says go pick up another pack of Charmin. So this toilet paper doesn't really get used, and every time you go to Walmart, which for most people is weekly when they get their paycheck, sometimes several times a week, your 68 cents will be put to good use, and you'd be surprised at how fast you can build up a stock of toilet paper. Because my philosophy is, I would rather wipe my behind with this stuff than have to tear up t-shirts or, jump in a creek every time I had to go to the bathroom, because you want to be clean down there. So you can store, the softer, bigger rolls of the fancier stuff. It's just going to cost you more, and when you're getting into prepping, you realize you don't ever have enough money for everything that you need, and cheap toilet paper is still toilet paper. The fourth item on this list, so I don't forget to say it in this video, is battery banks, or just the battery chargers that some of Walmart's have them at the front of the store, and you can get the 5,000 milliamp and the 2,000, and they come in every different size and storage that you can think of. The smallest I've seen is down to 500 milliamps, which for our modern phones might charge it 15-20%, but they're the size of a credit card and could almost fit in your wallet. The bigger ones you can get into 20,000, 50,000, and they're big enough that they could be used as a deadly weapon. So the one I got was a 24,000 milliamp. It fully charges the phone that I have 3 times. So it's useful for keeping one in your car, keeping one at home, charging it up and storing it at your bug out location. So your car dies, but you still need your phone. Your phone's going to die. You weren't charging it in the car or something. Then that could give it the extra juice it needs for you to get help. Or a power outage or natural disaster. You can't plug your phone into the wall. Battery banks are amazing for that situation. Numero 5 on that list is going to be a water bottle. Very similar to the battery bank situation. I think Walmart sells a $1 water bottle. And then I think this one was $10 or $15. And this, I'm pretty sure it's a 24 ounce, any size, shape, color, but having extra water bottles to, fill up with water, stick in your fridge, or it's a way for water storage, creating several bug out bags. You got one in your car for a get home bag. You got one at home. You're building a bag for your kids, your significant other, friends, family, and you can go to the store, pick up another water bottle. If your first one fails for some reason, this is a, insulated stainless steel, but you could lose the cap. If it's a plastic water bottle, it could get a hole in it. And it just kind of falls into that category of 2 is 1 and 1 is none, so you should have 3. Buying water bottles should just be something that after you've stored several months worth of food, you've got your water storage put away, and this is a lifeline for a few hours. So gets me to the big boy, numero 6, 7, 8, 9. Might be numero 7. I don't know yet. But that is just a hard water storage container. This one is a 6-gallon. It's, mimicked off of the Army style, but it comes in a light bluish gray color. And the cheaper ones are $7. The more expensive ones are $15. If you live in a place where you can't get the 55-gallon drum or the 250-gallon box storage, or some people are going even bigger. I think 750 is one of the biggest ones you can get from like Tractor Supply and stuff. But those are costing you several hundred, if not thousands of dollars. This guy, I can slide in a dark closet, forget about it for 5 months, and refill it later. For one person, this is almost your 1 week supply of water. 2, you got 3 days, and that's what FEMA recommends. 72 hours of food and water. So, if it's just you and your significant other, you buy one of those and you've met their basic requirement for water storage. This one does come with a little funnel on it, so you don't just have to try to pour it out of the spout and spill stuff. And they do, for a separate purchase, you can get a hand pump that you can stick inside, and you don't even have to pick it up and tilt it. But water storage is important. I would say after you have several of those, then you can go out and get another water bottle. Numero, I have 3 items left in front of me, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I got 3 items left in front of me, so 8, 9, 10. Numero 8 is going to be a hatchet. This one has definitely gotten some good use. You can get one with a hickory handle. That way, if it breaks and you've got the time, you can make another handle. This fiberglass handle, I haven't had any issues with this hatchet, and it doubles as a hammer. If you are more into the bushcrafting side of survival, SHTF, that kind of thing, this might be one of your first purchases, because there is a endless number of tasks that you can complete with just a hatchet. If you ever read the book Hatchet, probably 10 years ago, so I don't remember much of it, the kid was in a plane crash on his way to Alaska, and the only thing he had was the hatchet, and he lived out there for like 9 months. Granted, it is a fictional book, but the author goes into pretty good details on, you know, everything he used his hatchet for. So, might be a good read for some of you. It's definitely one of the first things, probably the first time I read it was in middle school, that got me into prepping. And shortly after that, I asked my parents for a hatchet. Don't know where that one is, actually. I know it wasn't this one. This one was purchased much later. But, down to the last 2 items. The next relatively cheap item, not this specifically, I just grabbed Ticket to Ride as an example, is buying board games, entertainment, puzzles. A standard deck of cards is probably the cheapest route. There's an endless number of games you can play with a standard deck of cards. This game, you know, specifically, you can play, you know, of course I gotta look at the box. And it's not just gonna be standard right on the front. I'm pretty sure it's up to a 2 to 5 person game. 30 minutes is 60 minutes. But nearly every time you play it, you can have a different strategy. So just purchasing one game could be entertainment for weeks and months. Or if you're thinking short term, the 4 days we didn't have power for, you know, the winter storm in Texas. The 3 days to 2 weeks that you don't have power after a hurricane or a tornado or something like that. Big morale booster. It allows people to escape into something fun. And I think entertainment and keeping people satisfied and not bored during the end of the world, SHTF, whatever you want to call it, is something that most prepping channels neglect to talk about, or they mention it once a year and then they make dozens and dozens of videos before they mention it again. And so the last thing that I have on my list, just making sure, Yep. Last thing I have on my list, it is the only ammo that I haven't seen go up drastically. The last time I looked, it hadn't even gone up that much at all. And it was shotgun ammo. Not this ammo specifically. This is some vintage stuff that a friend of mine gave me. But shotgun ammo has not increased in value that much, or in some cases, not at all. You can still get a box of 25 shells, your standard, clay rounds or dove rounds for $5 to $6 a box. And your waterfowl, this is specifically a pheasant load, but your waterfowl is still in the $7 to $12 or $13 range, depending on how fancy you get. But shotgun ammo has not increased nearly as much as some of your other stuff. I spotted some 223 out in the wild the other day, and the cheapest stuff they had was $12.99, and the 5.56 green tip was $15 or $16.99. It was at Academy, so retail price. But a year and a half ago, the 223 would have been $5 to $6, and the green tip would have been $10 to $12. So if you have a shotgun, or you feel like you don't want to pay the insane prices on your 223, your 30-06, your 22 ammo, even, that was $10 a box, which the last time I bought ammo was $2.50 a box for that. Shotgun ammo is something that you can still put away right now and still feel like on the security or protection side of prepping, you're building up a stockpile. So those are the 10 items. If you can think of others before I decide to make another video on this, after I gather another 10 items that are under, I know which one I forgot. I just thought of it. Give me a second. The last item, it was sitting right next to my foot this whole time, is a good old-fashioned kerosene lantern. This one got extensive use during our winter wonderland in Texas. And you don't just have to use kerosene. You can use camp fuel. You can use, I think it's white gas or white fuel. There's 3 different fuel types you can put in it. The lantern is under $10. I think it's like an $8 lantern. Wicks for it, you can get a pack of 3 for $5. And the camp fuel is relatively cheap as well. So all in all, for under $20, you can have extra wicks and enough fuel to last you probably 2 weeks a night if you're just reading a book or using it to go to the bathroom or something. But now, that's 10 items for under $20 at Walmart that every prepper would love to have. Some of them might not be on the highest list of your priorities, but just some things to think about. I know it can be, challenging. You feel like you've hit a plateau after you get into the point where you're putting away months worth of food and months worth of water, and ammo's so expensive. So hopefully these items make you go, yeah, I've got $10 extra when I go the next time. I've got an extra $20. Picking up all 10 of these items, you could get for under $100, depending on the quality that you get. I'm pretty sure this board game is a $30 board game, so get a pack of cards, and you can get all of these items for under $100, and it'll make you feel good about your prepping. So, if you enjoyed, like the video, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe, because I make a lot of videos, and I'll catch you in the next one.